Good Wednesday evening, everyone. Mark Abrams here, and we're here, and Brandon just came on. So everyone's on. Mark Abrams here, and we're here to talk about Saturday night's evening session, King's Promotions Live at the 2300 Arena and on BXNGTV.com. We have a great night of boxing. 7 big fights for the evening session, 6 in the afternoon that begins at 3. We talked to everyone last night from the afternoon session, the main event, Divar Farhadi taking on Blake Mansfield. And we have several of the fighters, including our 2 main event fighters for the evening session that begins at 8 o'clock Eastern. So let me first turn it over to the promoter of the show, Mr. Marshall Kaufman. We'll talk about the night session. Marshall, floor is yours.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Look, hey, we've been talking about this. We talked about it last night as well. It's going to be a great night of fights, period, from top to bottom. I'm excited for the main event. I'm excited for each card. I mean, each fight that's on the card. But, this main event alone, we've been trying to make this happen for quite some time now. Before the pandemic, we were trying to put it together. And so now we finally got it together. And it's time to put up and time to shut up and put up. So we're going to see who can back up their words and put on a great show on Saturday night.
And also, I'll turn it over to Andrew Foy. Andrew, before you say anything, does Marshall look about 20 years younger than he did last night?
Yeah, I mean, he looks younger to me every time I see him.
Andrew, add your two cents on Saturday night's edition.
I mean, it's going to be an awesome fight card. I think the afternoon show is awesome, and then the evening show is even better. I mean, Philly fight fans have been waiting to see Robinson Pllana for more than a year now. I mean, I've been waiting to see it. I know Marshall's been waiting to see it. A lot of people have been waiting to see it. I mean, I think these guys have respect for each other, but there's no love lost between them. They want this fight. The co-main event with Bernardine and Morales, I think, is going to be fireworks. The whole card. I mean, we don't do bad shows. We don't do shows with easy fights or obvious winners. I think if you're a boxing fan, you're going to want to see this.
Absolutely. And one question for Marshall before we head on to the fights and talk about the fights. This was the fight, if I'm not mistaken, that was kind of postponed after the weigh-in for the when the pandemic first hit. Am I not mistaken?
No, you're right, Mark. It definitely was the fight that was going to take place before the pandemic. We talked about it. I think we talked about it being done in May of 2020. And of course, the pandemic hit, so that changed everything around. But it's it's finally happening. And when I say that, I'm talking about the main event itself. It's finally happening, and it's going to be fireworks. It really is. I mean, you got 2 styles that match up very well. You got boxer, and you got someone who's more of a stalker and puncher. So it's going to be a great night of fights. They both are prepared. Brandon's put on a heck of a show in Philly numerous times, and Genc has never backed down from any fight. He's going into other people's hometowns and put up a heck of a fight. So it's going to be fireworks. It really is. And for those who miss it, I think they're going to be missing something special.
And if you can't be there, BXNGTV.com. So you'll have Rich Quinones and Alicia Baumgardner on the call. I'll be handling post-fight interviews. So it's be a great night of boxing. So let's break down the card a little bit. Marshall, I want to ask you about this first young man. We got Eric Monroe making his pro debut against Rowley Lolo, 0-1 out of Harrisburg. Eric Monroe, a recent signee to King's Promotions, making not only his King's Promotions debut, but his pro debut.
Correct. I mean, look, it's Eric has good skills. He can punch. He got decent hand speed. But you can't sleep on Rowley. He came into my gym about a month and a half ago and sparred with Kanai Wheeler, and man, he was just nonstop, and I think that's a fight that's gonna could steal the show. It really could. It's that type of fight with two styles that match up very well, in my opinion.
Maybe I'll ask Andrew's opinion for this fight. Kynell Wheeler 4-1, 4 KOs against Vincent Backus 4-2 and 1-3 knockouts. Andrew, tell us what you think about this fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight. I mean, it's not really Wheeler fought a tough opponent in his last fight. He actually dropped a close decision. But I think it's going to be a good challenge for Wheeler. Backus is a tough opponent. I do expect, though, Wheeler will win this and probably stop him. Be my prediction.
There you go. Marshall, Rasheed Johnson, 7-3, 3 knockouts. He's taken on Rafiq Muhammad, 4-0, 2 KOs. Very interesting matchmaking there. Obviously, Rasheed, he's a favorite, fighting a lot in his hometown of Philly, taking on the undefeated Muhammad coming up from Virginia.
Look, there's not enough video out there on Muhammad. I was called. He was going to fight James Martin back in November before that fight got shut down due to the pandemic. So he's willing to step up and fight. He's 4-0. There's not enough video out there on him to really see what he has. So look, we like to put on great fights. And if Rasheed wants to move on, he has to beat guys like that. And the same goes for Rafiq. If he wants to move on, he has to beat guys like Rasheed. So it's going to be an interesting fight because, like I said, we haven't seen anything of Rafiq. So I'm interested to see what he brings to the table.
Next fight, we got Andres Abarco. Andres Abarco, 2-4 from Normandy Park, Washington, taking on Elijah Morales, 7-0, 4 knockouts. Who wants to take that? Andrew? Okay, Marshall.
I'll be glad to take it. Look, I don't know enough about Marco. I've seen him in as far as who he's fought. Tough, durable guy. He's not going back down. He's coming to win. And Elijah Morales, I haven't seen enough of him either. One thing I can say to you about Elijah Morales, he's packed the house. I mean, they sold about $15,000 in tickets. And they're going to have a lot of screaming fans there. That night, he probably sold more tickets than anybody else on that card that night. So it's going to be packed for Elijah Morales' fans and whatnot. So it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Elijah has a great trainer in Chino Rivas. So it's going to be interesting. Abarca coming up from Seattle, Washington. I'm interested to see what he brings.
And just in time, he's been having some problems, but he keeps logging on. Jonathan Rodriguez, 8-1, 3 knockouts out of Bethlehem, PA. Take on Sebastian Baltazar, 1-4 from Tacoma, Washington. Jonathan is with us. Jonathan, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Just getting ready for this fight.
So talk to us about this fight. We're a few days away. You're getting back in action on a King's Promotions card here at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. Tell us what you're feeling, what you're thinking a couple days out.
I feel good. I've been getting ready for a while now. Just everything's falling into place already. Just glad to be back. With my good promoter, Marshall. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to fight again. But I'm excited for this fight.
Gotcha. You've been on the big stage. You fought on ESPN, and now you're coming back to Philadelphia. Talk about the experience. I know you've had one fight since then. The experience of going out to Las Vegas, and what you learned in that fight, and what you're going to take and bring this for Saturday afternoon. Saturday night.
I learned a lot from that fight. It didn't go the way we wanted to, but it was a lot to learn from it. And just any other fight in general, whether you win or lose, there's still something to learn, and better myself as a fighter. But stuff I've learned, you guys will see Saturday night.
There you have it, and we'll get back to you in a minute. As Andrew notedly mentioned a couple minutes ago, we have an outstanding co-feature, a 6-round lightweight bout featuring undefeated fighters. Osvaldo Morales, 4-0, 2 KOs out of Harrisburg, PA, taking on James Bernardine, 3-0-1 with 2 knockouts. We have James Bernardine here on the line. James, we're like same question I asked Jonathan. We're a few days out. What are you thinking? What are you feeling before the fight?
I'm happy that I'm back after the coronavirus slowed me down, but I'm back and I'm ready. I feel strong. I can't wait.
Tell us about stepping into this fight so early in your career, taking on another undefeated opponent. What's the mindset in that?
My mindset is whatever is in my way, I gotta get through it.
Marshall, tell us a little bit about James Bernardine.
Well, I'm on not just tell you about James Bernardine, but I'm going to tell you about this fight in general. This fight was supposed to be made March 14th of 2020, the same day that the pandemic shut us down. We were scheduled to fight up at the Sands Casino, and we got the call that day when the commission said we have to shut it down because we can't do an event. Those two were supposed to fight that night, and not because of the pandemic that it shut it down, but Morales got hurt a few days prior to the fight, couldn't fight, and so this is the fight that I've been trying to make for a year now, over a year, and finally we were able to make it. And I can't wait to see these guys in the ring with each other. Styles match up very well. Morales is a boxer, puncher, southpaw. James Bernardine's, stalker, puncher, and so it's those type of fights that will have the crowd standing to their feet. I guarantee you. You can't blink on this fight because both guys got heavy hands. Both guys can punch, so you have to pay attention in this fight. So I'm extremely excited about this. This is going to be a great fight.
James, you just put a lot of pressure on you. Now you have to deliver on Saturday.
There's no pressure. I mean, I got real respect for him because I know him. We sparring partners, but there's no pressure.
There you have it. So that takes us to our main event, and like Marshall said, this has been more than a year in the making. A terrific fight. Everyone, even though he's from Hagerstown, Maryland, Genc Pllana has established himself as basically a Philadelphia fighter. You've been fighting here for so long, and so many great fights. Taking on Brandon Robinson, Genc, you retired the greatest nickname in boxing. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Not the sexy Albanian anymore.
I'm still sexy, but it's not my ring name.
Well, obviously, this is a fight that has been on the table for the last year plus. Now we're just a few days away from getting in the ring with Brandon. And what are your thoughts going into this?
I think it's going to be a really good fight. I can't wait.
How much of Brandon have you seen?
I watched his fight with Hot Sauce. I watched his last fight. And I watched his fight with, I forget this one guy's name, but it was an 8-rounder.
Being that, you had you saw the fight with him and Calvin Henderson, and then your fight with Calvin Henderson, two drastically different results. What can you take, from the common opponent?
We'll see Saturday night. I took Hot Sauce to school, and Hot Sauce did a number on Brandon, so we'll see.
Well, that takes us to the man known as B-Rob, Brandon Robinson. You just heard what Genc had to say. What are your thoughts on this fight Saturday night?
I know there's no triangle effect in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Genc come with a style that no one was used to seeing. Now people done seen him. And he's been losing since people been seeing him. We couldn't get a 10 round. We couldn't get a 10 rounder. We couldn't get a 10 rounder because we got like 2-3 losses.
I didn't lose, buddy.
Morally, you didn't lose. But boxing is not one on morals.
I didn't lose. Go watch
the judges. The judges
But
score the boxing. Boxing is not won on morals. So morally, you think you
there's
won, then you
video.
won.
There's video footage. Go watch it.
Yeah, but what's your record say? So
It don't matter.
if morally,
It doesn't
morally
matter.
you think
What my record says, what I'm gonna do to you, you gonna see. It don't matter what the record says. You gonna see the result,
okay,
and you're gonna be like, "Damn, that record! I should have never looked at it." Because
okay,
you gonna find out.
okay.
You almost got knocked out by a 154-pounder, 10-7, Brandon Bruce Lee or whatever his name is,
Okay.
whatever his name was.
Okay. I respond in violence. I don't talk too much. I respond in violence. So
I look forward to the violence.
okay.
Let me ask you guys this question, and both you guys can answer. Obviously, you were supposed to fight about 15 months ago. Is this 15 months of build-up? Wanting to get at each other?
I've just got to get through. Like he's a club fighter. He's a club fighter.
Bro, you're a C-class fighter. Hot sauce tore you up. I school hot sauce.
Okay.
It's common sense.
I'm gonna show you the difference.
All right, we'll see it.
Brandon,
your last match, the dude had 30 losses. He almost slept you.
Brandon, let me ask you this. Obviously, he keeps referencing the fight with Calvin Henderson. Well, obviously you're a better fighter now. You're saying what makes you a better fighter now than you were that night?
I can go on for days about that, but like I said, I just it's just a difference. And if you really know boxing, it's a difference. It's just, I'm gonna show the difference. Like we know that this guy, it's just like I know too much. It's like I know too much. You don't know enough. Like you know what I mean? Like you don't know enough. It's a difference, man. It's like it's really nothing to talk about when we about to fight. So we about to fight. There's nothing to really rap about. I'm gonna be able to put my hands on you. You're gonna be able to put your hands on. Try to put your hands on me.
The funny thing is, you're not gonna be able to put your hands on me. I'm too fast. You'll see. You'll see. Go look at the Sandal fight. That Cuban punk couldn't touch me. Go look at the Hot Sauce fight. He couldn't touch me. And you're slower than them.
We got some feedback.
You're gonna see. You'll see. I'm telling you.
Someone's speaker's up a little loud. I don't know if one of you guys could turn down whoever's on here to turn down their speaker. But Marshall. This is actually good for you. You don't have to break anyone up on one of these virtual press conferences.
No, this is great. It's just the only bad part about this is that tickets are sold already. So the way these guys are going at each other, and they did that before when we had them on our podcast. It was great, So if we didn't have tickets sold, I'll tell you what, people are going to be itching to get tickets, and they're going to be upset that they didn't get tickets because I'm telling you, it's going to be a night of fireworks.
And you know what's great about this? You check the boxing schedule. There's no other big fights out there. So if you're a boxing fan, this is the only place you're going to get your fix on both Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. So there's no other fights out there. I'm going to just want to go down to everyone for a final word. We'll start with Jonathan Rodriguez. Jonathan, to just give us a final word about your fight before we see you Saturday night, 8 p.m. at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, live on bxngtv.com.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you to Marshall for getting me in the card again, and I'm ready. I'm ready for this fight. Ready to give you guys fireworks. So make sure you come down and watch us.
There you have it. Also, just want to see if we got any. We got a couple comments here from Keith Gerber. Let's see what he's got to say. See here, Lancaster Boxing Academy. So he's in big with the. And he also asked, got a question for James Bernadine. What's your prediction for Saturday? So, James, let me pull you up here. Answer the question. Final thought. What's your prediction for your fight on Saturday?
Stay into the game plan, and hopefully we get a KO.
There you have it, man. A man, a few words. He likes to do all of his talking in the ring. Let's go to Genc Pllana. Give me your last final words. I know it's not going to be for me or for the fans, so I know you want to give your final thoughts to Brandon before you see him at the weigh-in on Friday.
I trained really hard, and I look forward to his violence.
You look forward to his violence.
Yes.
Brandon, you got the last word. What do you want to respond to that?
He know what it is. He know what it is. That's why he looking forward to what I'm gonna do. He know what it is.
And what
Simple
is
as
that?
He know. He talk rough all when we get in there. He gonna see the difference. He gonna see there's a difference between me and him. That's why he's looking forward to the violence.
There you have it, Brandon. Thank you for everyone being here. I just want to give a couple of comments. Andrew Foy, before we wrap it up. Andrew, what are you thinking? A little contentious here, huh?
So I want to ask you a question. So you do press for all the promotions in Philadelphia. I want to ask you, when is the last time you can remember a non-network fight in Philadelphia that the main event was a guy who's fought on network television his last two fights, won one against Roy Jones Jr.'s top prospect, the next one was a close loss, who's fighting one of the most popular fighters in Philadelphia, who's won multiple Briscoe Awards, always comes to fight, somebody's getting knocked out. And then that's the main event, but then the co-main event is two of the best lightweight prospects in the state. So I'm asking you, when can you remember a card in Philadelphia this good that wasn't on network television?
Well, I'm not gonna answer that question, but what I'm gonna say is, when has there ever been a card with two fight cards in one day this good? So I'm actually taking it another level to your question.
Well, I'll say there's been none, Mark, but you got out of that one.
Mark, you know it. Nobody does it better than King's Promotions.
I'm just moderating here tonight. So, Marshall,
no one does it better than King's Promotions. Period.
You have the last word about this whole show. Since we're not going to be doing this, and we're done for the week with our press conferences. Your last word about the whole day.
Okay. Well, as you can see, I'm still here at the office, working, grinding since 6 a.m. this morning. Look, the both cards are stacked. Okay. This card, you didn't get to ask me or Andrew about the fight with Jonathan Rodriguez and Sebastian
Baltazar. Well, I have Jonathan here.
And you've seen Sebastian yourself, Mark, in person when he fought Jeremy Adorno. The kid comes to fight. And so, even though you look at the records and they look totally opposite, you cannot sleep on Sebastian Baltazar. He's coming to fight. He's going to put Jonathan to the test. And look, the one thing, as you know, we don't try to soften up the pillow in a sense for our fighters, because they have to fight. In order to get better, they have to fight. In order to be ready to fight the best, they have to fight. And so the whole card's going to be great from top to bottom. If you don't have tickets, you better order it online, and it's going to be phenomenal. The fights that we have, the 4-round fights on that card that night are Jonathan Rodriguez against Sebastian Baltazar, and then the Arbaca and Elijah Morales fight. But then when you get into the 6-round fights with Rasheed Johnson and Rafiq Muhammad, and then you have Kanai Wheeler against Bacchus. Bacchus is a tough kid. Who knows what Kanai's going to come with? We haven't really put him to the test. That was another fight that we were supposed to make a year ago as well. So the card's going to be great. And then when you have those two lightweights that are two undefeated lightweights, how often do you see that in local fights? You just don't see it. And that's what we bring to the table. That's what King's Promotions brings to the table, better than what any other promoter in our area has ever done. Okay, so we're here to make a statement. My fighters are here to make a statement. King's Promotions is here to make a statement, and we're going to make a statement come Saturday night. So if you, like I said, if you don't have tickets, you better tune in to BXNG TV and be prepared to watch one heck of a night of fights.
And I also wish the two main event fighters would have some disdain for each other. They're too passive towards each other, Marshall.
Mark, think about this, for real. The main event on the afternoon card is what weight class?
I was going to ask you this.
Okay.
I was going to ask you this.
There's always a method to my madness. Okay. The main event for the evening card, 168 pounders.
Now I actually have it on my notes here. Could we see the two winners fight each other?
Exactly. So think about my madness here, okay? So it's going to be pretty interesting. And then we have guys who fought each other before, and Keyshawn Hutchinson and Rasheed Johnson, where that could even be a rematch for the third time once again. So there's a method to my madness, period. And
there
we'll see how the fights go that night, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am, and I'm looking forward to these 168 pounders who they let their hands fly, they can punch. There's between the guys, they're punching like heavyweights. So it's going to be interesting. It really is.
It's going to be a great day, a great night. As you heard on this thing, Genc and Brandon, they have a lot of love. It sounds like they have a lot of love for each other.
Well, without a doubt.
Or maybe not. I see. So I can see everyone. Genc is smiling. Brandon here is serious. So this is going to be a tremendous day, tremendous night of boxing. Like you said, only a couple tickets left, Marshall.
Just a few $50 tickets left. I want to say there's about 17 left.
Wow. And
I give them to me.
It'll be a sold out house.
What'd you say, Brandon?
They mine, right?
Gotta
get me, right?
Gotta get them. I should jack those prices up to 100. The way the demand
why are you
is
gonna
right
do
now.
that? You just give them to me.
So no, it's going to be a great night,
And
Mark, these guys, Brandon and Genc, look, even though they're both warriors, they're both getting ready for war on Saturday night. But hey, look, it's all in business. Afterwards, I'm sure they'll congratulate one another and move on from there. But they still have plenty of fight left in them. Win, lose, or draw after this fight, either one of them. And like I said, there's other 168 pounders on the card, and I know that Brandon is on a mission. He's already talked about he wants that rematch with Calvin Henderson as well, but he has Genc in front of him, and he has to take care of Genc first.
There you have it. Well, guys, thank you. Thanks, everyone, for coming, all the fighters, James Bernadine, Brandon Robinson, Jonathan Rodriguez, Genc Pllana. I want to thank Andrew Foy, and, of course, the promoter extraordinaire, Marshall Kaufman. We will see you guys all Saturday, 3 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Just a few tickets left. And if, like Marshall said, if you can't be there, bxngtv.com. You don't miss this great day and great night of boxing. Thank you very much, and we'll see everyone on Saturday.
Hey, Mark, one last thing.
Yeah.
You said I look 20 years younger.
Yes.
I couldn't get my beard looking like Brandon, so I figured I'd shave it off.
Oh, hold on. Let me look. We got to get a.
I'm about to get a haircut, man. I was about to get a haircut.
Brandon's got one of the best beards around.
He sure does. So everyone have a great night, and we'll see everyone at the weigh-in on Friday, and everyone watching, we'll see you on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock, 2300 Arena in South Philadelphia. Good night, everyone.